Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2026 World Cup with Team Canada. And today we have for you the biggest game in Team Canada history. It is the third round matchup versus Italy. Winner goes to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And we already have a few results in this stage. Have they already announced some pairings? Looks like they've already announced some pairings for the World Cup, or for the next stage. Let's hold off. Time out, fellas. Let's, before we get to that, how about we look at some scores? So in the third round, Spain has beaten Chile 2-0 to move on to the quarterfinal. Colombia and Croatia with a tie in regulation, with Croatia moving forward on penalties. Then Sweden over Switzerland, 1-0. And then the big result for us here in North America, in Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri, Mexico beats Uruguay to move on. So we got one North American representative, at least, in the quarterfinals. See if we can make it two with Canada over Italy. Matchups to come. Other game today is Belgium and Brazil. That's a huge one. That's a monstrous matchup right there. And then we have France and Holland, another pretty big game. Argentina, Ecuador. So South American rivals going at it. I don't know how big of rivals they actually are, but, are they listed as rivals? Let's see. Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Bolivia, Argentina. Yep, so they are rivals. Okay, I guess everybody in South America is a rival in some way. But yeah, it's going to be a big banner day for the World Cup. Let's see if we can get a second North American team into the quarterfinals. Speaking of quarterfinals, like I said, they already had some matchups, so they must be following the tree, I suppose. Is there a way to look at the third round tree? Yeah. So here's the third round tree. Everybody loves a good playoff tree, and I guess in this competition, they actually stick to the tree. How novel. Anyway, Spain and Mexico, that's a very interesting matchup there in the quarterfinals. And then Sweden and Croatia up here. If we win, we'll get the winner of Argentina and Ecuador. So that'll be an interesting matchup. I'm hoping it's not Argentina, because we already know what it's like to face those guys, and we already know what it's like to face Ecuador. So we would much rather face Ecuador than Argentina. But if we can get past Italy, it could actually be a pretty decent draw to the finals. I think Sweden and Croatia, either one of those teams, I think we can compete with those guys. It's not one of the major teams. They're both very good, don't get me wrong. But, we could possibly hang with them. If we can hang with Italy, we can hang with either of those two teams. So let's get on with it. Let's see. Let's get to this third round game. Don't have a lot of lead up, no real news. We had slight injury, but nothing too bad. It's not going to keep anybody out of the lineup that we want in the lineup, so it's not so bad. Match preview. Did we miss a score there? I think we missed a score. Take a look at competitions, World Cup. Brazil moves on. They beat Belgium 2-0. Huge result for the Brazilians right there. That was probably their stiffest competition, in this round they could possibly have. And they breezed past them 2-0. So let us get to our results. Match preview even. Canada versus Italy. Italy are the favorites. Even money. 5-11 for Canada. So a little better than 2-1. Anyway, they're in excellent form right now. 5 wins in their last 5, so undefeated. And we're now in strong form. 3 wins and 2 draws in our last 5. They prefer the 4-1-4-1 and 4-1-4-1 DM wide. So basically 4-3-3. Anyway, we go in with the 4-2. They do have one pulled groin, an injury there to Gianluigi Zellioli. Okay, Italian names, tongue twisters. Anyway, let's take a look at Italy. Vincenzo Montella, pretty good. In fact, very good. He's coached many different places, including Milan, Seville, Newcastle, Empoli, Udinese, and now Italy. He's been with Italy since 2024, so not a long run for him, only 2 years leading up to the World Cup, but he's an excellent coach, especially tactically. That's really his strength. Man management, motivation are also incredibly good. Tactical knowledge. So this guy is all about the tactics, but the rest of his coaching abilities are pretty good as well. So let's take a look at the Italian team. Values, very, very good. Lots of $100 million players. Federico Chiesa is their number one player, playing at Manchester United. I almost said Manchester United. Has anyone used that as a slight against Manchester, calling them Manchester? There you go. There's a free one for you. Anyway, 16 dribbling, 18 off the ball. So, this guy is very good. Of course, how would he not be? Moise Kean, still playing at Liverpool. How long has he been there? Take a look. Been there since 2019, perhaps? No. Been there since 2022. Played at Juventus before that. Lots of starts in Italy. Made his way over to England. They're so good. Why even bother looking at these guys? It's not like they're going to have any flaws. Their second to last players were $26 million. Their reserve, their third string goalkeeper, is worth $26 million. And that's basically how good our top player is worth. So, it's one of those kind of teams. They are 7th ranked in the world, so another top 10 opponent for Canada. Yeah, so it's going to be a tough one. It's one of these games that we knew we would have to win to advance very far in this World Cup. And so now it's the time. Now is the time to pull off the major upset. So let's get back to the lineup here. We are playing in a sold-out Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. The Link, 68,000 tickets sold out of 69,000 capacity. Breezy and 87 in Philadelphia. That's okay. So it looks like all these games are being played in the U.S. So what, Canada and Mexico just get like a couple of first-round games and that's it? We'll see. Maybe moving on to the next couple of rounds, we'll get some games in Canada and to Mexico. But for now, all these games seem to be taking place in the U.S. Let's see. Is there anything else we really need to look at? I don't think so. So we will submit our team. Couple of guys not quite fully fit, but we're going with our best team. We'll see if they can pull through this game. So they are going with their traditional formation, the 4-1-2-3, 4-1-4-1, I guess is what they called it, but whatever. Salcedo up top, Keane on the left, Chiesa on the right, taking the captain's armband. Zaniolo, Barella, who's this guy? Filippo Malagoni, I don't know. 3 appearances, only 1 goal, so we don't even have to remember his name with stats like that. Anyway, Alex Telles on the left in the fullback, Calabria on the right. Why am I bothering trying to pronounce these names? Romagnoli, who knows, left back. And Mercado, right center back. Merritt in goal. Meanwhile, we are going with the 4-4-2. Going to be a little bit conservative against Italy. See if we can keep this game close. Looks like they're not playing a particularly attacking formation. Doesn't mean they're not playing an attacking style, but their formation isn't that aggressive. So maybe we can keep this game low scoring. We got McGee in goal. Cabra and Oro at the fullbacks. Dunn and Rocco in central defense. Stankovic on the left. Timoteo on the right. Daniels and Norman in the midfield, and then Hundle and David up top. Nearly an all Vancouver lineup. Let's go. It's not been helping Vancouver here. We're the underdogs. Let's give them something to cheer for, sure. It hasn't been helping Vancouver in this stretch. We've had to play 2 or 3 games without 10 of our top players. So it's not going great for Vancouver these days, but they're managing to hold on. They're managing to get, a few wins, a few draws. They're doing fine. Cheering on the national team. As well they should. All right. Let's get to the kickoff. Here we go. National anthem. Philadelphia. We haven't played in Philadelphia before. It's interesting that we're playing in all of these professional football stadiums. NFL stadiums, if you will. I know we play in a few, but no soccer-specific stadiums. I guess they're expecting just massive crowds. And I guess they're getting it. 68,000 tickets. All right, here we go. First highlight, 3 minutes in. Got to check the highlights here. We are on extended highlights, so that's good. All right, Italy across midfield, working things very methodically. Looking for cracks in this Canadian defense. They found one out wide. Tellis wide open on the corner. He sends in the cross. Dunn heads it out. Barella recovers for Italy. Fires over the net. No problem. Okay, so we weathered the first attack. Here they are with a free kick. Drops it off to Chiesa. Chiesa taking it wide, trying to get by the defense. Single-handedly sends it across. Wow, Keane heads it over the net. Thought that was a sure goal right there. Nerves maybe getting to him. Here we go, another Italian highlight. Calabria. Throw in on the near side. Salcedo. Italy's going to move it across midfield now. Again, they're being very deliberate. Very, you might say, tactical. Salcedo looking. He's making the turn. Stop there. Deflection. McGee with the save. Okay. Italy with only 38% possession, but they've got all the highlights. Not exactly sure what's going on. We can't see, we haven't seen a Canadian highlight yet, so we don't really know what's going on. I mean, we've got the possession. That shot didn't count as a shot on target. I guess it counts as a deflection. Okay, they've got an early team talk for Italy. Yeah, we got some tired boys out there. Rocco, Dunn, and Daniels are all a little tired. Not sure why they're particularly more tired than all these other guys, but we did sub a little, but not a lot. How's Italy looking? Oh, here we go. First Canadian highlight. Stankovic takes the free kick. Goes right in on goal. I thought he almost had Hundle on the back post. If he had laid off that a little bit, Hundle was on a run there. The highlight continues as Merritt sends it downfield. Great win of the header. Italy on the attack, but McGee makes the save. That was pretty dangerous. Italy gets the corner now. Near side, Chiesa drops it short to Tellis. Salcedo, he's covered there by 2 men. Tellis, his cross is deflected. Canadian defenders have to extend themselves here. There's a big turnover. Stankovic sends it downfield. But the highlight ends. So I guess, defensively we're playing okay. Salcedo's getting too much space. Okay, we'll mark him. Don't want him cracking off any long shots. How good is Salcedo at long shooting? Probably pretty good. Probably better than anybody on our team. Only 12. That still might be better than anyone on our team, but it's not that dangerous. Here we go. Canada cross midfield. Slowly, gingerly. Look at that Italian defense. They are packed. To Matteo. Getting it forward. Jonathan David out wide. Oro on the run. His cross is deflected. To Matteo. Centers it to Norman. Norman, he's got Daniels open. Daniels not ready to shoot it. Back heels to Hundle. Forward to David. Nope. David surrounded by the defense. Salcedo saves it on the sideline. Cross to Chiesa. Chiesa in on goal, and he scores. Wow, what a counterattack. That clearance, I thought that was going out of bounds, but Salcedo was able to recover. Here it is. This is the big play right here. He's got the speed, the range to get out there and save that. And then Chiesa, great touch in on goal. And finally able to get one past McGee. 34 minutes. Okay, we might have to change things up a little bit. Second half, Daniels is not looking great. 64%. He's going to be tired by halftime, so we're going to have to sub him out and figure out what to do with that position. Aiden Daniels is looking exhausted out there. Yeah, I know. I know. 61%. So we can't just sit back and lose 1-0. Uh-oh, here we go. Free kick. Okay. Sends it wide. No problems. 42 minutes. Clock's rolling. They've got some tired boys out there as well. 44 minutes. McGee sends it short to Rocco in Canadian territory, deep in Canadian territory. Norman now is going to look to move the offense. There's Daniels. Hopefully he can make it to the second half without making any mistakes. Here we go. Stankovic cross midfield on the near side, dribbling. Drops it off to Hundle, who's not getting quite as forward as I would like him to do. Pass back to Dunn. Dunn sends it forward. That was an ill-advised pass, my man. Turns the ball over to Italy, and now Italy gets the highlight. They're going to play with it in their own end. Wait to take advantage of Canada as we stretch forward a little bit. Here we are, Italy across midfield. Tellis on the far side. He's covered by two men. What is Italy going to do? Are they going to get a soul-crushing goal? Here's Chiesa again moving forward, and he gets the goal. 2 minutes of stoppage time. I thought we had him defended. He was bracketed by two players. But he just managed to get the ball past McGee. There's even three defenders there. It's like Cabra missed the initial tackle. He's well onside. Cabra goes for the pass, misses it, and then the other two defenders are a little too late. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Italy bombing it downfield. Salcedo beats our defense to the ball. Boy, I don't like that. The way they're able to send the ball downfield and their attackers are just beating our defenders. I do not like that one bit. Here we go. Oh boy. Chiesa. Cross deflected. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Get out of there. McGee makes the save on the header. Let's get to halftime. 2-0 down. About the best we can hope for at this point. We still managed 53% possession, but it did us almost no good. We only had 2 shots, 1 on target. Meanwhile, they had 13 shots. So they really don't care about possession. They get the ball, they send it downfield, and they let their guys just out-quality our defenders. And we can't have that. We're going to have to change tactics. We're going to have to go attacking. Right? No. There it is. We're going to have to go attacking. And we're going to have to bring in... So Jackson Amell is the one who's been injured. So we're not going to bring him in. We're going to bring in Samuel Piet. Bring in the captain. Our other guys are a little tired, particularly Rocco. But we're going to leave him in until the second half. make that strategic change and get to the dressing room. Pep talk. Let's be passionate. You know the first half wasn't good enough. So show them what you're all about in the second half. Okay. I thought about making some fullback changes as well. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to move on. Let's go. Second half. We're going to go attacking. We'll try to go out in a blaze of glory. Get some goals here. You know, looking at our leading goal scorer, we got like 6 guys with 1 goal apiece as our leading goal scorers for this tournament. Nobody has scored more than 1 goal. It's a little disturbing. Let's encourage our players to play a short passing play. Okay. I'm down with that. You know, we can use the possession. That's fine. Here we go. Highlight for Canada. Stankovic wins the header. Sends in the cross. Nobody there. Norman recovers. Gets it for Timoteo, wide open. Oof. Shot just wide. Cabra's been booked. Okay, ease off tackles. You know, I would sub him out, but he's our healthiest guy, and we're going to have to make other defensive substitutions. So I don't think we can afford to sub out our fullbacks the way I kind of wanted to. 57 minutes already. We've already sort of doubled our progress. We got 4 shots now, 2 on target. So that's something, I suppose. They do have 16 shots. Rocco's looking exhausted at the 60-minute point. Take him out of there. We will bring in... Both of our defenders are looking exhausted, but for now, we'll move Dunn over. Bring in Giguère. Let's see. Make Giguère the ball-playing defender. Julian... Make him just a straight-up defender. Okay. I mean, then we're going to have to sub out Dunn at some point. But I don't know that I want to do that necessarily. I'd rather sub someone else in there, like perhaps Cavallini, somebody who could score some goals. Might just have to let Dunn struggle on defense. Made 1 midfield substitution, 1 defensive substitution, then we can make 1 attacking substitution. Unfortunately, it's Sean Hundle who's our most tired guy up top, and we don't really have a substitution for him. There's not much we can do about that. Here we go, throw in, far side, Cabra. Drops it to Piet. Piet back to Cabra, who's wide open, sends in the cross. Nobody there to receive that. Hundle has it. Hundle forward. Timoteo takes the shot. It's deflected out to Oro. Oro. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross, but it was terrible. Whatever it was, it didn't work out at all. 65 minutes. All right, Dunn wins it. Norman heads it on. I really wish these guys would control the ball a little better. Here we are, Italy now, cross midfield with possession. Looking out wide. Alex Tellis getting double covered out there. Macero centers. Borelli, his shot is deflected, I think, off Giguère. Nope, just goes straight out. There's not much of a highlight there. We'll definitely take that. Coming up on the 70-minute point. Hundle and Dunn are looking exhausted. Nathan David's been booked. What could we do? I don't really know. Like I said, we have absolutely no substitution for Hundle whatsoever. We have no other attacking center mid. And I kind of want to bring in Lucas Cavallini. I think we'll do that. For Stankovic, we'll make him the wide target man. You know, that seemed to work last game. We'll see if it can work again. And there we go. Okay. It's all down to this. We've made our 3 subs. Italy, big tackle. Piet sends one downfield. Oh, big mistake. David finally gets behind the defense. First time all tournament. Shot is saved by Merritt. Let's give the boys a shout. Man more. Here we go. Timoteo on the corner. Sends it in. Straight to the keeper. Merritt. Nice grab. Very aware by the Italian keeper. 77 minutes. It's now or never, boys. Let's go. Big boot downfield. Cabra calmly brings it in to Jaguar. Jaguar sends one downfield. David cannot outrun the defense, surprisingly. You know, that's kind of why we have him at striker, so he can do stuff like that. Free kick for Italy. Goes wide. It's no problem. 80 minutes. 51% possession. I guess that's something in our favor. 8 shots now. 4 on target. Tried to get it ahead to David again to no avail. The defense is sort of surrounding him back there as our lone striker. Italy now across midfield on the far side. Calabria dropping it back to Chiesa. Cristante is in. We should probably check our opposition instructions, see who they've got in the game now. All right, so they got a new defender. Cover him up. Got a new midfielder. Cover him up. And they got a new attacker. Macero. Okay. Confirm those changes. Are there any team instructions we could give that would have any sort of difference? We've got 3 yellow cards. I don't know that I want to be telling people to get stuck in. I guess we could be more expressive. Okay. 86 minutes. 86 minutes. Not long. Let's get at least a 1 goal. Come on. Let's get 1, and then we're right back in this game. We can make the last few minutes interesting if we can at least get 1. 89 minutes. Clock slowing down, perhaps for a highlight. 3 minutes of extra time. 2 minutes of extra time. 1 minute of extra time. 30 seconds to go. Final highlight. Oro with the throw in on the near side. Timoteo. Back to Oro. He's got some space. He sends in the cross. Cannot get it to Cavallini. Cabra recovers. Piet. Norman. Can we get off one more shot? 10 seconds to go. Cabra. Cabra looking. Piet. Out wide to Cabra. Can he send in a cross? He cannot. Full time. Italy defeats Canada 2-0 in the 3rd round. And there we go. Luke McGee, 8 saves. Valiant effort. Did everything he could. Unlucky, boys. Would have been nice, but that was not to be, apparently. There we go. Canada out of the World Cup 2-0. Canada reached defeat in the 3rd round. Yeah, I mean, a little disappointing, but at the same time, it was a good run. You know, we got our 3 wins in the World Cup, right? 2 wins? 3 wins? How many wins did we get? I'm like blanking. I recorded a bunch of episodes yesterday and went to work and sort of blanked on everything. Yeah, we did get 3 wins. Okay, we beat Qatar, beat Norway, beat Turkey. 2-0 in extra time. That's right. For some reason, I thought we lost one of these games, but no. 3 wins and a loss in the World Cup. That's not too bad. That's nothing to sneeze at right there. Would have liked to make it to the quarterfinals. That would have been, fairly prestigious for Canada to make it that far, but still, we did pretty well. Made it farther than the U.S., I guess. Made it farther than anybody other than Mexico. So I guess it proves what we proved all along. It's that we were just second best to Mexico. We couldn't overcome that, whatever it was, whatever sort of talent gap there was between Canada and Mexico. We just couldn't quite overcome that, especially with our best player out for the tournament. That's something we have to remember. Our best player's out. Davies. It's too bad he missed the tournament, but hey. All right, so I'm going to pause it here, and we're going to see who wins the World Cup. So, pause. Okay, we're back. It took a while, a couple of weeks, but we made it to the finals. Here we go. Brazil beating France 2-1 in the quarterfinals. Spain beating Mexico 1-0. Tight match for Mexico. And there we go. All the North American teams are now knocked out. Italy over Argentina 2-0 on penalties. And Croatia likewise 0-0 over Sweden in penalties. And then Italy 2-0 over Croatia, taking them to the finals where they're going to play Spain, who beat Brazil 3-0. And there we are. Spain is your champion. 2-2 penalties over Italy. So the team that knocked us out went all the way to the finals. So Italy had an outstanding team this year. And it was just sort of, bad luck that we got paired up against them. Their team on a hot streak. And they took us out. Not that we would have got too much farther, but like I said, I thought maybe we could have handled a team like Croatia. I don't know that we could have handled Argentina. But, there was a path. We had a path to, some sort of further adventure. Because Croatia, they're still a much better team than we are. But not as good as some of the other teams we faced. Anyway, there is your 2026 World Cup. There is the end of our save. We can take a little retrospective on the nation of Canada. We rose to 36th in the world. I think that's our best ranking that we ever ended the year on. So that's pretty good. We started this save 56th, I think. So we ended up 20 points higher. Not bad. Not bad. Not as high as I had dreamt that we could go, but maybe, realistically, that's about as high as we could have gone. We had some ups, we had some downs, we had some good seasons. We won a lot of trophies, sort of. It was an interesting journey in terms of competitions. So we had Confederations Cup 3rd place. That's kind of sort of the highest international, not national, world sort of competition that we placed in 3rd place in the Confederations Cup. Olympic Games, 3rd place in the Olympics, so a couple of 3rd places. That's okay. North American Gold Cup, we won it in 2021 to add to our previous win in 2000. Confederations Cup playoff, we won in 2023, and then we qualified automatically in 2025, I guess. Olympic Games qualifying, we won that one time in 2019. North American Under-20 Championships, we were runner-up in 2024. And that's kind of it in terms of whatever the game decides that we get, hardware for. But still, we played a lot of good games, had a lot of good results. The board is happy with us. What would we end on here? It's probably our highest ranking, 63%. Very pleased with our international stature, the fact that we're, broke the top 40. Pleased with pretty much everything. We did well. Would have liked to have our best player on the squad for the final push, the final Olympics, but here's our squad in terms of value. 19.5 Cabra is our highest valued guy with David at 19.25. So those two guys are sort of flip-flopping their values. I'm not sure if this is an off year for them, if there's a contract year, or what's going on with these guys. But their value seems to be fluctuating very recently. But overall, top to bottom, we improved the nation. We brought in some interesting players, a couple of Brazilians, a couple of Englishmen, some youngsters, a lot of guys from Vancouver. We did our best. We did everything we could to improve the nation of Canada. This is one of my favorite saves that I've ever done. Definitely one of the best ones that I've ever done on YouTube. So thank you all for coming with me on this adventure. Everyone who's left here at the end and hasn't run off to watch all the FM20 games. Didn't plan this out quite as much. It's not terribly planned because we're still in the beta season for FM20. But I would have liked to have ended this maybe a week earlier, 2 weeks earlier. But still, too much fun. Too many, we were too in the weeds in this this save to stop when FM20 came out. We had to see it to the end. So there it is. Final episode. Canada knocked out in the Olympic Games in the third round. Or the Olympic Games. After all this time, I still can't. My brain is still not functioning properly. You know what I'm talking about. The World Cup. We finished third. Anyway, going to end it there for Team Canada. We're going to move on to FM20. We got more content there. We got the beta save. And then, we'll see what happens when FM20 is released. If we stay in MLS or if we move somewhere else, I got some plans to maybe try somewhere else. And, so we'll see how that works out. So until next time, again, thank you for watching and commenting and everything else. Till then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.